Welcome to The Morning After with Martin Nolan and Jason Weitzman. And Martin Nolan and Jason Weitzman. This is The Morning After.
Welcome to The Morning After. Should we just get right into it?
Yep. As you may know, the presidential election is right around the corner. As always, it's time for the good old-fashioned election bracket.
This election special is brought to you by Powerade. Drink some of it.
Great new slogan.
Got some new candidates this year, and I think it's really going to come down to the wire in a lot of these matchups.
Great point, Jason. Do you see any surprises in this year's rankings?
Well, frankly, Martin, I'm a little surprised Mitt Romney is as high as an 8 seed. I think he earned at least a 9 or 10 spot, but hey, that's the magic of this bracket.
Yeah, I was shocked to see Ron Paul's only a 3 seed. I was expecting him to be at least having an extra bye week or something, maybe an automatic trip to the finals.
Yes, Martin, it is unfortunate that brackets don't work like that. Let's dive right into it with our first play-in game between the two lowest seeds, Vern Winshee and Stephen Rollins.
Vern's a real go-getter of a businessman, running as a Republican. You may remember Vern as the guy who visited over 6,000 businesses in the 2007 New Hampshire and Iowa primaries. Still managed to come in 10th in both elections, earning him the 10 spot here.
And that's where he'll stay, as Stephen Rollins has everything it takes to beat out Vern 10-spot Winshee. So Susan Boyle look like Stephen Rollins is moving on.
And down to the other play-in matchup between the 8-seeded Mitt Romney and Jimmy McMillan of the Rent is Too Damn High fame. And I'm going to go right ahead and say it, Jason, but I just don't think America's ready for a black president.
Right there with you, Martin. And with Romney advancing, we have the first presidential election bracket upset. Brought to you by Gatorade. It puts the power in you.
Next up, we have one of the most anticipated matchups between Stuart Alexander and Andy Martin.
4 first names in 1 first-round face-off. I don't know how it gets any better than that.
Andy Martin, who I have in another bracket going all the way, is perhaps best known for starting the internet chainmail about Obama being a Muslim and not being born in the U.S.
Great to have someone who's not afraid to spam the truth out to the American people. And he's going up against Stuart Alexander, who is running as a member of the Socialist Party, and it looks like an easy win for Andy Martin. Last time I checked, we weren't in France.
No sirree, and I have never checked whether France is socialist or not. Strong win for Andy Martin. Moving on to the matchup between tournament favorite Ron Paul and girl candidate Kathy-Erin Lane.
Something interesting about Kathy-Erin is she spent a few years living in Japan.
It's great for her, Jason, but she is a non-career politician who identifies as independent but is running as a Republican. This lady needs to decide who she is before I decide to vote for her. Ron Paul, moving on, konnichiwa Kathy-Erin.
Ichiro Suzuki. Down in the Southwest region, we've got Romney going up against Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson. Mitt.
Yeah, Mitt. And back up to the top where Stephen Rollins is facing off against defending champion Barack Obama.
You know, Rollins looks like the sort of person who does colonial reenactments, and that's the kind of guy I want running this country.
Yeah, Rollins looking to be the Cinderella of this tournament. Fortunately, you don't get any extra points for dressing up like a princess.
Really weird move on his part. Obama moving on. Curse splash! Now Obama has to go up against Andy Martin.
I was really hoping to see this matchup, Jason. You see, these are two rivals going up head-to-head.
Unfortunately, Andy Martin has already let the country know that Obama is not a U.S. citizen and that he is a Muslim, yet that didn't stop America from voting for this terrorist the first time.
That's right, Jason. Sadly, Obama will most likely win this one. Hee-haw! Obama makes it to the final 2.
Now up next, we have Ron Paul facing off against Mitt Romney. We here at The Morning After have this as our lock-in pick of the week, with Ron Paul easily moving on, and with Ron Paul in the final 4. Oh wait, look, it appears as though Bill Clinton will decide to enter the bracket and go head-to-head with Ron Paul for this spot in the finals.
Whoa, Jason, I didn't see this one coming, but you never know with old Bill.
Nothing in the past has ever pointed towards Bill Clinton losing an election, so he beats out Ron Paul before immediately dropping back out of the race.
And with the vacated spot, Romney slinks into the finals for another upset special, brought to you by Gatorade. Gatorade, it's Powerade.
That leaves Obama in the finals up against the dark horse Mitt Romney.
And Jason, I think this matchup is just too close to call.
So there you have it, folks. The election is going to come down between Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney. Martin, so what did you do this summer?
I was a slave. Jason, what'd you do this summer?
I was in London from July 20th until August 12th.
Oh, right, for the Olympics.
For the what?
The 2012 Summer Olympics. They were in London this year.
They were?
Yeah, during the exact period you just mentioned.
Really? That's nice. Who won?
A lot of people won. It's the Olympics. How did you not notice?
I was feeling pretty jet lagged. So our next guest participated in some sort of athletic competition over in Europe this past summer. Please welcome Habib O'Malley.
Jason, Martin, thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
And remind the viewers at home, Mr. O'Malley, which nation did you represent in the Summer Games?
The nation of myself.
Excuse me?
Martin, I'm one of a very select number of Olympians that competed as an independent athlete this year, despite not actually being represented by any country.
You didn't compete for any country? Not Spain, not Botswana, Canada, South Africa, Japan. Oh, I know more countries than I thought.
That's true, yes. I competed not for national pride, but for personal reasons.
But you must come from somewhere.
Yeah, why weren't you able to compete for a nation that actually exists?
Martin, are you aware of Michael Phelps?
The subway spokesman.
Yes, the most decorated Olympian of all time.
Okay, and are you aware of how many years it took for Michael Phelps to become the best swimmer in the United States?
A lot?
Yeah, a lot, that's right, maybe more even. And while ever since I was a little boy I dreamed of being an Olympian, quite frankly, I wasn't willing to put in that kind of work. Like, not even half as much work. No work, that was the goal. So I declared myself the only citizen of my own self-created nation, and I demanded representation in these London Games.
Makes sense to me.
That makes absolutely no sense.
If you don't think about it, it makes sense.
But if you do think about it, I went from being an unathletic, asthmatic grocery store clerk to the greatest Olympian my country has ever known.
Inspirational.
Now, how many events did you compete in this summer?
Yeah, good question. All of them.
All of them?
Yes, that's right. Swimming, track and field, trampolining, water polo, men's volleyball, women's gymnastics. My country knows no gender. Handball, archery, men's basketball. In fact, I lost to the entire men's basketball team by 510 points, but don't let that mislead you. It was pretty close until the tip-off. It was the only Olympic game ever called after the first quarter. At one point, LeBron James just started playing on my team. I blame him for the loss.
Yeah, but the U.S. team was pretty good. I think we should keep that in perspective, LeBron James aside.
Well, that's all the time we have.
Wait, before we go, will you at least do me the honor of allowing me to salute my country by singing its national anthem?
I don't think we have time.
Oh, Martin, we have to be respectful of all cultures. We don't want this to be like the time when the Chinese ambassador was over and we tricked her into eating a cookie of her own piss.
You're right. Can't disrespect Mr. O'Malley. This is how wars get started. Please, continue.
Miss Independent, Miss Self-Sufficient, Miss Keep Your Distance, Miss Unafraid, Miss Out of My Way, Miss Don't Let a Man Interfere, no. What happened to Miss Independent? No longer need to be defensive. Goodbye, old you, if love is true. Thank you.
喂，你好嗎，醫生？我係白士嚟嚇，啲係唔係好靚？好味，好味。白士？好味。1、2、3、4，OK， but 係啊，你。Woo woo. Yee yee. And papa. Hiya.
It's our piss. Our cookie's our piss. You can't understand us, but it's our piss.
Huh?
There are some really big developments happening here at Boston University this semester. The university has launched a campaign to raise $1 billion.
A lot of money.
The administration is already seeing an outpouring of generosity from students and alumni in the BU community.
Which means that the BU has a lot more money now.
which means that we have a lot more money now. And we really don't know what to do with all this.
I do. Morning after hats.
So, to help us sort things out, we established a morning after payroll. And then we put an accountant on that payroll.
That's right, Martin. He's on the program today to help us and our viewers understand where the morning after might be headed this season and beyond. We're really happy to have him. Please welcome Mark Hainsbrook.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Happy to be here.
Keep talking.
Okay. Since the campaign will be raising an average of $200 million a year, our show per semester will be receiving about 300 million United States dollars.
U.S. dollars?
Yes.
Me likey Mark.
The university's campaign is designed to
Keep talking.
improve the quality of the school. I've developed a similar 3-step plan to improve the quality of the morning after, and by extension, the quality of our lives.
Go on.
The first step is the reaching out step. We really want to bolster the online presence of the brand. So to start, we'll want iPads for all the cast and crew. On top of that, to integrate this technology into the studio, we'll want at least 5 or 6 more iPads to have on hand for scripts, scheduling, checking your hair when the screen is turned off, and we'll have one master iPad to keep inventory on all the other ones. Really standard procedure for a production this size. The second step is
Yeah.
the public defamation step. This is where we take our newly acquired audience and alienate them by damaging our public image and credibility. I recommend some heavy investments in methamphetamines, plus frequent stipends to all the cast and crew for weekend getaways and personal investments in gambling and sex trafficking. Hey, the fun has to stop somewhere though, fellas. This brings us to step 3, the redemption step. This is where we dust off some of the stories that are left over from step 2 and pretend like we just found out about them, and then we help some orphans or something and fall into the good graces of the public once again. We'll also devote some funds into staging horrible incidents that we can then report on, or even help resolve if you're feeling adventurous. Burning buildings, hostage situations, that sort of thing.
You know, Mark, I think we let you go on a little too long there.
Yeah, you've been talking in really long monologues, so it's been hard to react to every individual thing you've said, but you kind of took a left turn somewhere back there.
Bye, Mark.
Now we're going to go to a commercial break, and it's time for our morning after poll. What is a dog?
And we got some response to our poll, the morning after poll this week. Just one response. It's from D. Pellerin at bu.edu. She says to what is a dog? My dog, Riley. Sure. I guess your dog's a dog.